Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Wow, crazy moves in the market so far. Unfortunately, I still think these lows and the data lows are coming now. I don't know if they're going to hit just now or if they're going to save them for later today. But we did just sweep the London low, and we are having a pretty bullish reaction, which I'm not really excited to see. But ultimately, I still think the draw here is going to be lower. Let me push this mic a little closer so you can hear me better. Let's look at this from an hourly perspective. Very bearish, guys. You can see yesterday we closed above both hourly fair value gaps, but it ended up, and this one right here, but it ended up drawing us up to the buy side and immediately rejecting. This tells me that we're very likely to come down here today. So I'm hoping that we're going to end up getting a dump here. Again, could I be wrong? Absolutely, but I still think it's probably going to come now. Maybe they make it difficult to get into it, but I think this is just going to be a sell day, if I had to guess. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, guys, I don't have any entries here, unfortunately. Yo, what's up? Robert, good morning, bro. I don't have any entries here, but I think these are coming. So maybe if we get a tap back into this 1 minute fair value gap, we can look for a short. But I think this is probably just going to deliver down without giving us really any entry, unfortunately. But we'll see. But if I really had to guess here, guys, I think this is going to go down, sweep liquidity, and then maybe we get an A+ setup back to the upside later today. What's up, Kay? Good morning. So again, guys, I'm just explaining that on the hourly chart here, we did inverse both of these fair value gaps, right? These hourly fair value gaps, but immediately after hitting buy side, we got a super strong rejection yesterday, right? I wanted to take an afternoon entry. Yo, what's up, Chulo? Good morning. Wanted to take an afternoon entry. I didn't take it because of the time of day, but you can see that was actually what ended up delivering us. And I think this is going to take us below this low right here. I think this is going to take us below this low, and then probably all the way down to the data lows and then the equal lows right there. So we'll see how it ends up delivering, but so far there is no entry for me, unfortunately. I wish there was, but there is not. Yeah, this is definitely a sell mall in my view. I think it's going all the way down here, here. I think all this is getting taken out, and maybe even this today. We'll see. There really isn't an entry, guys. If you want to chase this with a micro, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I personally don't think that's a good idea. But again, you can do whatever you want with your money, okay? But for me, I'm not in a rush to make money. I don't really care whether or not this happens. I don't care if I make money. I mean, I do want to make money, but I don't care to just randomly FOMO into the stock market just because, or the futures market. So very big dump there. That's the first sell side. If you guys want to book your profits there, you can. Totally up to you. I think it's going to go lower than this, but we'll see. So again, I think this low is coming. I think this set of lows is coming here. So we'll see. Wow, huge dump. So is anybody in a short? I'm looking here on the 1 minute charts. I don't see anything. There's nothing here that's A+. You guys know the short that happened yesterday after sweeping liquidity, but I told you guys because of the time of day, I didn't take this, and this ended up cleanly delivering us all the way down. You can see that now. Then we had our Asia and our London consolidation, our manipulation above London high right here on this candle. None of this is coincidence, guys. Manipulation above London, and then dumps. So there is the liquidity. So simple. Like, again, there's no entry for me personally here on the 1 minute chart, so I missed this. But if you were interested in taking this short yesterday, you would obviously be banking if you decided to hold this. I don't think anyone would, but yeah, that's the nature of the game, guys. Complete dump today, and I think it's gonna go Bro, he was in shorts. You got out early. Actually, so there is a pretty decent 15-second short, guys. Right here, okay? We didn't sweep this internal high, but this internal high on the 15 seconds swept this high and swept all of London and Asia up here. And then this inverse ended up being the dump all the way down here. So that was pretty wild. Crazy move though, crazy move. This is wild. Look at this move, guys. And this is not by coincidence. Look at all the targets I told you guys were gonna hit. Every single one I've been calling for days now. Okay, so we just got a sweep of liquidity to the downside. We have to be super careful about shorts here because, about longs here, because this momentum is extremely strong, right? So we have to be really careful. Just dumped below this low and to a new week opening gap. As far as targets to the upside, I mean, we definitely still have targets to the upside, right? This London high still has not hit. The hourly for value gap. Yo Tom Hayush's journey. The king's here. What's up, bro? So Yo Tom, guys, is one of my best friends in real life. And, yeah, he also is a long-term Tesla holder with me. Best day trader I know too. I think he makes close to what, Yotam, $1 million a month off of NQ. IRL, sup boys. At least, yeah. So guys, there's the 30% retracement. Do you guys remember me telling you guys this? I literally posted a video on my Discord. TGIF setup, 30% retracement of the weekly candle. And boom, here it is. Yeah, Yotam's a goat when it comes to trading. So all this liquidity has been swept. I'm gonna get rid of all these lines so you're not confused now. And now we can look for an upside setup. But I will say, I will not lie, guys, this momentum is super strong. This does not look like a day that we're going to recover. So, just letting you guys know that if the long setup comes, it's going to have to be really good for me to decide to take it. So, who remembers in the Discord, for those of you who are in the premium, who remembers when I posted the video about the TGIF setup and I called this level right here, the 30%, and the data lows and the equal lows that we just swept? Who remembers that? And if you guys saw the video but didn't watch it, shame on you. K Watt remembers the video. So there's the ultimate sell side liquidity. I'm telling you guys, this is not coincidental. This is all algorithms moving price. If you think everybody, yeah, Charlie remembers, Robert does. If you guys think that this is coincidental, that we're getting this every seller in the market decides to come in and put this much pressure on the market, you've lost your mind. This is algorithms. This is not human beings. So I don't know how else to prove that to you guys apart from literally calling this level and the sell side liquidity. The markets move from buy side to sell side and back to buy side and back to sell side. Their objective is to stop people out. So now that this sell side has swept, I mean, as far as what I'm looking for, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When we get this close to all-time highs and we reject like this, if this daily fair value gap does not hold right here, I'll label it as a daily. I labeled it in blue. If this does not hold, we are probably coming all the way down here. And if you guys remember from a few weeks ago, I was looking for this London low right here to get traded into, and this daily fair value gap. Ultimately, guys, I think this is possibly the start of a sell model down to these areas. This is what I feel right now is likely. And I'm hoping, whoa, what are all these brushes going on here? I'll delete that later. I'm hoping that they leave these equal highs up here because there is a set of equal highs. Yeah, so Yotam, guys, is waiting for a dip. He wants to deploy. He has quite a bit of capital ready to deploy. But I think ultimately this is the start of a potential sell model. And I'm hoping that we leave these equal highs up here, because if we do, that gives us an insanely strong target for later. So once this daily fair value gap gets hit, I am going to be loading up on calls, leaps, on QQQ, on the S&P. I'm going to be adding to my favorite companies if we end up getting this. Yeah, cash on hand for your boy. But yeah, I think this is probably going to dump quite hard today. If I had to guess, guys, I think this new week opening gap is coming. At minimum, we're looking at 50% of this daily fair value gap. That's what I'm suspecting is going to happen here. So because of this reaction, I'm not going to be looking for longs right now. So I hope you guys understand that. But if miraculously, guys, somehow, if this 3-minute inverse is to the upside, we can consider looking for longs. But I just think this is going to collapse. I don't think we're going to get any long setups today. And sometimes the market does this, where it just completely collapses and doesn't give you an entry. But on the 15-second, there was an entry up here at 940, but I was not on the charts. I will not tell you guys why I wasn't on the charts, but I was busy. That's all I'll say. So if you, if you guys are wanting to find a day to short the market, I believe today is probably going to be that day. So you can do what you want with that information. It's not financial advice, but if a setup presents itself, I will take it. But until then, guys, I get to watch and have fun. Yeah, this is definitely a FOMO type market, okay? But I still ultimately think the draw is going to be quite a bit lower here. We are trading into an hourly order block, right? When we come up and then we have a red candle and we close above the red candle like this, especially on the high time frames, this becomes an order block. You can see that we're completely disrespecting all the new week opening gaps. Normally these act as support to go higher. If you just close below it like this and dump, it tells me we're going much lower. So what we can try and do, guys, is look for a setup down to this low. I like this low a lot because it pairs with a new week opening gap, it pairs with sell side liquidity, and it's within the daily fair value gap. If you guys want to look for a scalp here to the mean threshold of the daily gap, you can try something. But again, there's nothing that I like here. I wish there was, but there isn't. And it's crazy too, because the market is not even respecting that 30% level of the weekly candle. So we're probably going to the 50%. And do you see how the 50%, right? I have the 20, the 25, the 30, and the 50% is right in line with the daily fair value gap. So there's the 50% of the daily gap, right? The mean threshold is another way to quote it, right? It's the Fibonacci retracement of the daily fair value gap. Whoops. And you can see that that just got touched. And I think, like I said, guys, the next new week opening gap is the next target. And then these two lows will probably hit as well. So hopefully what we get here is maybe a push up from this 50%. And maybe we get a setup from there. But definitely not looking for longs today, guys. This is an extreme change in market structure. Okay, extreme. And it's just telling me the delivery is going to be down. So what I'm thinking is maybe we get a retracement back into, I'm going to delete the, I'm going to delete the 20, 25, and 30 and just leave the 50. So maybe we can get a retracement back into this hourly fair value gap and then get a short. But telling you guys right now, you should not be looking for longs, in my opinion. You could, if you guys want, we can try this. If this ends up closing above, you can have a very tight stop long if we close above, stop to break even at this high right here. You don't want to, it needs to be immediate, because if this is going to be bearish, we're just going to collapse. So if we end up closing above here, you guys can enter this with a super tight stop if you want. I'm not going to. I think this is bearish today, so I'm not going to go against my bias. But you guys can try that if you want. But if this high gets swept first, right, if we trade into the 1 minute first, there's no way you can take this, in my opinion. Candle closes in just a few seconds. Oh my God, where are all these notifications? Yeah, so you see how this high got swept already, guys, before the candle closes? So for me, if we're bearish today, guys, this is just going to reject from this 1 minute gap and just collapse. So not interested, personally. But if you are in this, your target would probably be this high right here. Again, you have another 1 minute gap here that can easily be rejected from, so there's no way that I would take this personally. But I do like how we're pushing immediately from the 50% that I just called out. So I think this high is likely to hit, or it comes close and we miss it. But ultimately, like I said, guys, on the hourly, I want this low. I want this daily fair value gap to fill, so I'll be looking for shorts. So once this gets swept, if it does, I will be looking for a short. I think that's pretty good. It'll also kind of be like a reach. Basically, it's going to be forming an hourly fair value gap. So wherever this ends up driving up in price will probably end up being the high, and they'll leave a fair value gap here. So like imagine this green candle pushes up, maybe sweeps this high, forms the fair value gap right here. Right? It'll be like right here where this internal high is, and then they dump the market. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. Or they go super close to it and they reject the market. That's what I'm thinking is probably going to happen too. By the way, guys, if this gets inverse, I'm gonna try this. Okay, I know it's not an optimal place to long, but if we end up coming very close to this high, or we sweep it by a tick and then we reverse this, I'm taking this short because I think the draw is much lower today, and so this IFVG looks A+ to me to the downside. Okay, I am going to try this on a funded account, not a cash account. Only on a funded account and evals. Just because it's kind of in discount of the range, but regardless, I still like it personally. Especially if this high gets swept. If we miss it by a tick and then we go down, I'm still okay with it. Because of the nature of the day and because I know that my targets are lower, ultimately I think that this is going to hold and we're going to go further. So we'll see. And I'm going to try this, guys, with probably one NQ on my fundeds. I'm not going full size because we've already missed a majority of this, potentially missed a majority of a move, but I think it's going much lower. So this is going to be my ultimate target. So the short would be here, a 1 minute close back below. Target would be down here. It's about a 2.56 to 1 RR trade. And yeah, so we'll see if we get it. Put your hands in the air. No, in this case, K, I'm not waiting for the sweep because we're super bearish on the day. We just rebalanced. We basically rejected off the high of a daily fair value gap. This is one of the rare instances where I will take a short without a liquidity sweep. Very rare instance, but I will take it. If this got swept, it'd be even better. But if this ends up rejecting below this low, I'm going to take it with 1. It's a very small stop. And yeah, but hopefully we bounce out of this, sweep this high, and then get it again. That's what I'm hoping. And again, guys, this is not a full-size trade because we didn't get the liquidity sweep. For now, we haven't gotten the liquidity sweep I'm looking for. But if we end up sweeping this and get an immediate rejection, close below this 1 minute fair value gap, it'll be I'll probably still go 1 NQ because we have missed a big portion of this move so far. Again, it could be just the start of a move, which I think, but I'll have a lot more confidence in this if this high gets swept first. But regardless, I'm going to take it with 1 NQ. Put your hands in the air. Let me just check something quick. Let's look at the economic calendar just to make sure there's no extra red folder that I'm missing. FOMC members speaking at 12:05, natural gas storage. Okay, there's nothing extra. There is crude oil inventories at 12, which is at 9, right? 9 my time, so in 2 hours, 1 hour and 50 minutes. Yeah, nothing that is really concerning to me. Okay, so guys, if this ends up closing below, I'm going to take the short. 1 NQ contract. Stop will be a close back above on the 1 minute. That's about a 2.71 RR trade. Stop will go to break even when this low hits right here. But what I'm really hoping, guys, is that this ends up being a bullish bounce through here. Because that will be a pretty decent setup in my view. But honestly, guys, I'm telling you right now, this to me looks like the start of a high time frame sell model. Aiming for this low, this low, this low. Probably this low down here. Lots of new week opening gaps here to rebalance. And then ultimately, like I said, the daily fair value gap. This to me looks like it could be that time. So we will see. A lot of people are trying to long this fair value gap right here, in my thinking. Because we've swept liquidity. They think that we're bullish. Or they think that we have a potential reversal coming. It's also kind of rare that the reversal happens at the start of an hourly candle. I mean, sometimes it does, but normally it's in the second half of the hourly candle that we get a reversal. Let the beat drop. Ba, 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 ba. What is the stop like on 1NQ right now? Okay, so guys, hoping this ends up being bullish to sweep this high and this high. Forming, like I said, guys, you have to look at the structure of a candle, right? Right now, this candle, this hourly candle is going to determine how big this hourly fair value gap is going to be. So I'm hoping we get one more sweep up here to create a little bit of a smaller fair value gap, sweep the liquidity on the 1 minute, and then go higher. By the way, we do have a new week opening gap here that we just rejected from, just a heads up. Let me actually draw this out so I can see it on the lower time frames. Did it work? Okay, so it did. So we rejected from it once. Let's see what happens here. We have another woman at IFEG here. So I think this, oops. Yeah, this doesn't look bad to the upside. Stop to break even at this high and targeting this. If you guys want to scalp, I don't think this looks terrible. But again, you'd have to wait for the 1 minute candle to close, obviously. And then your target would be this high right here. So that's an entry for a long, guys. Again, I'm short biased, but I still think this will work at minimum to this high and then this high. So we'll see. If you guys want to take this, you're welcome to. I am not taking this, but I still think this is probably going to work to this high right here. So that's the entry, right? 1 minute IFEG. Stop to break even at this high right here, and then full TP or a partial here and leave the rest. Yeah, Tristan likes a silver bullet. I don't think it's bad. We do have a new week opening gap here though, and I think we're ultimately bearish today, so I'm not taking this. But you guys could do what you'd like with your money. Again, my job here is not to tell you what to take. I'll tell you what I'm taking, but I can't tell you what to take. So, did this just leave perfect equal highs here? Ooh. Okay, so what I'm thinking, are these perfect? No, they're not. Tristan, huge liquidity sweep into a 4-hour BISI. I long 2 and Q after the retest of the 1 minute inversion. That is a tough call, bro. We did enter into this 4-hour fair value gap. However, this looks like to me the start of a sell program. And we have a massive daily fair value gap that I think is going to get rebalanced. So I like the enthusiasm for longs. And could you be right? Absolutely. But I think this is the start of a higher time frame sell program. So I am looking for shorts. So if you guys are in this long that I just called out, your stop should be at break even, and I would take a partial at this internal high, and then you can leave the rest if you want up to higher. But be very cautious, because if this is super bearish, we'll probably just reject from right here and not even take this high out, but we'll see. Wow, guys, I really, I gotta go to the restroom, so I'll be back. All right. So this just swept the, okay, so we just inversed a 5-minute right here, tiny one, but nonetheless we inversed it. And we came right back above this new week opening gap. So this is a tough one, but yeah, congrats if you took the 1-minute IFEG. Where do I think this is going to? I mean, it's hard to say, but it's probably going to be somewhere in this 1-minute. I mean, in this 5-minute. Damn, this is a very bullish reaction from the daily. So guys, there is a small chance, okay, and it's possible that we can end up coming back up here. I don't think that's going to happen just based on this hourly reaction, but it's possible. That's a really, really tough situation. How's ES doing? Let me see what ES is doing right now. ES, perfect reaction from the bottom of a new week opening gap. Did anybody take this 1-minute long, by the way? Yeah, Tristan, you might be right. Chula didn't take the 1-minute. This is just ultimately a tough day, guys, because to me, okay, when I see this, this looks like the start of a sell program, okay? But there is a chance that we're just coming back to rebalance the daily and we're going to end up going higher and sweep the equal highs first before taking out the daily I told you guys about all the way down here. So I really need to see how this hourly candle moves. If this 5-minute inverses to the upside, guys, I'm thinking we're probably going to go back up to this high right here. I was not expecting this bullish of a reaction. I was expecting an immediate, once we tapped into here, I was expecting an immediate reversal. So I don't like that we're sweeping liquidity and then continuing up, right? What I wanted to see was an immediate rejection from this high right here to go lower. But again, guys, I'm not gonna take anything until I am very confident on what's going on. Again, guys, if this 5-minute inverses to the upside, let's say it does, okay? And we don't end up sweeping this 5-minute high just yet, and we retrace down, I'll look for a intraday intraday IFEG to the long side to target this. I'll move my stop to break even at this high, right? Because basically my thinking is that if this 5-minute inverses and we don't hit this high, it's gonna eventually hit this high, rebalance the 5, and then probably go higher. So it'll be a free trade. That's what I'm thinking. Super flat at 2227. Yes, but also well, it's not that flat, but also we swept this London high, which tells me this is probably the start of a reversal. So we'll see. There is a tiny 1-minute IFEG here that just worked, but not good enough for me to take. Let me look at the hourly chart again quick. All right, so the hourly fair value gap now is higher, right? So the hourly is right here. I'm thinking that this might be the start of the sell program here. I kind of wish more liquidity was swept to the upside. Maybe if we get one more sweep of this high, we can take this short. So what I'm looking for here, what is this, the 5 minute? I'm gonna delete this for now. What I'm looking for potentially here, guys, is one more sweep of this high and then a short setup. But if this ends up closing below, this is a better risk to reward. So we'll see what happens here. I just don't like that the new week opening gap is right here. And we're now closed back above it, and we could potentially be using this as support to go higher. This is a tough situation. You can see, guys, that the 30-second is almost closing above an IFEG here. So I actually think this could probably be a good long back to stop to break even at this high. But this is coming back up to this sell side that we just swept, so. Tristan on the 5 and 15. Doesn't look crazy flat to me personally. This is not like, just looks like a liquidity sweep to me. 5 minute looks a little bit more flat, but I don't know. So pretty much, guys, here, really what I want to see is one more sweep above this high and then an immediate dump closing below this 1 minute. That would be a nice short in my view. A fair value gap that doesn't get retested is called a breakaway gap normally. So like this could potentially be a breakaway gap. If we end up just reversing from here, then this will not be retested until much later in the markets. Guys, if you're in the stream, make sure you like the stream. Okay, why is my phone disconnecting? Hold on. All right, so I think this high is coming back now because the 30-second and the 15-second both inversed above their fair value gaps. Actually, the 30-second did not yet. Never mind. Okay, so I think this high is coming now. We just inversed on the 30-second and we closed above on the 1 minute, it looks like. So this high should come. Again, I am personally looking for shorts, but we'll see what happens. Trust Tristan. Dumb question. What is an inversion of a breakaway gap? That I don't know, Tristan, to be honest. But if a breakaway gap gets inverted, I'm assuming that it would be stronger, but then it's not really a breakaway gap, right? Until, I mean, later on. Like, let's say the market does sell off. That's actually a good thing to study. I don't really know. But if we end up, like, never closing back into this 5 minute and having a big sell program, Once this inverses, it probably will have a big downside move. But so every breakaway gap, well, not always, but the majority of breakaway gaps are just breakaway gaps intraday, right? Eventually they get touched. So, but like let's say it gets held. Okay, hold on, guys. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I had to make a phone call, sorry. Alright, so we just swept liquidity to the upside. If this ends up closing below, guys, I think this is a decent short. Let me look at the 5-minute quick. Yeah, so we swept liquidity, that swept liquidity. You have to move your stop to break even quick. Because we do have a bullish 5-minute fair value gap here. I will give you guys a heads up. But I don't think this is bad. Where is the golden pocket on this? Wait, what? Bro, am I tripping? Okay, but 1 minute IFEG has already inversed. Where do you see a 1 minute, K? I'm on the 1 minute chart right now. This is the 1 minute I'm looking for right here. But if we sweep this low before the inverses, it's going to be tough to take this, guys, because we're just trading into a 5-minute fair value gap, so... This is so tough. They're really making this one difficult. You guys see how we're inversing the 1, but we're trading into a 5-minute, so I don't know if this is going to be the bullish fair value gap that delivers us higher. So we really want to see a 5-minute close back below this, honestly. Which happens in 4 minutes. So let's see if they even give us an entry, if they just dump the markets. I don't know what they're going to do here. But I think this is honestly a sell program. So you see that, how they're immediately reversing the markets here? Right after sweeping this low. So I don't like that for bearishness. So let's see what happens. Man. So the only thing that I'm thinking now, guys, is if this 5-minute gets inverse to the downside, that I'll look for shorts. For now, though, I don't like that we're immediately wicking out of this. It shows me that we're potentially bullish here. Okay, I like that, actually. We got 2 minutes till the 5-minute candle close. So let's see if we end up getting a close below this 5-minute fair value gap and this new week opening gap. But for now, guys, what I'm seeing here is we close below a new week opening gap, then we're closing above it, and we're potentially using this as support to go higher. So I have to be very careful about shorting. How's everything else doing? Really quick. Palantir with a 10. Oh, below 100. Holy crap. Wow. How are the Mag 7 doing real quick? Tesla down 2%, of course. AMD down. LLY. Okay. Okay, guys, this just looks like a bullish reaction for now to me. The 30-second is about to inverse to the upside. Let's see if it ends up doing it. This is a great day, though. I'm not going to lie. Definitely making moves. Okay, so the 30-second just closed above. I think this is going to come back to this high now. So I'm actually going to buy a market order on this. My stop loss is going to be down here. Take profit here. Let's see if I end up getting it or not. So there's nothing on the 1 minute. Ooh, we do have a 1 minute rejection here. Not a huge fan of that, but... Oof. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, actually. So this is just an eval account, guys, but yeah, I should not have done that. But we'll see. Again, the stop is, I'm going to keep it hard because if I'm wrong, this is going to dump, but I thought that because of 30-second inverse that we'd go higher. But the 1 minute did not, so. Okay, so that was a stop out. Okay, if this 5 minute inverses to the downside, guys, again, that's going to be my short on a funded account. That was just an eval, what you guys just saw, obviously. So again, basically my one trade on the day today is going to be if this 5 minute inverses to the downside, I'm going to be looking to target this low down here. Stop to break even will come at this low right here for me. If we end up getting it. So we'll see. So who's bearish and who's bullish right now? Let's take a poll in the chat. Who thinks this is going up? Who thinks this is going down? I know Tristan was in longs, but he closed them out. You could type 1 for up and 2 for down. iStyle's a bull. Chulo bear. Robert Bear. Okay, so most people, right now the majority is bearish. Where is the FEGU drawn in the chart? What do you mean, where is it? Charlie's neutral. Pepe, which fair value gap are you talking about, bro? I have a lot of fair value gaps on my chart. Didn't see you were on the 5 minute, saw it on the 1 minute. Yeah, there's a 1 minute fair value gap right here that already inversed to the downside once. But ultimately, guys, right now, because I don't know if the 5 minute's going to be used as support, I want to see a 5 minute close below the Newbeak opening gap, and then I'll look for shorts. But there definitely is quite a lot of movement right now, which is I like to see. Today looks like a day where we're going to have a lot of movement. Okay, I like this so far. Okay, guys, so let's see if the 5 minute ends up holding here. My thinking is that this is going to end up being a pin bar and that we're going to reverse to the downside. In theory, yes, Pepe, this 1 minute should be used to go lower. However, we're in a 5 minute bullish fair value gap, so I have to be super careful because this can just be used to rocket higher, right? So I want to see the market close below this as well. That's going to give me more indication that shorts will work. Because we're in a new week opening gap and a bullish 5 minutes, so it's hard for me to take shorts here until this closes below. And we got 4 minutes left until the close, so. But if you guys want to start taking a short here, I mean, you can if you want. I just don't think I think the risk is not good. Because we could just completely start pushing here. But I think this is still pretty bearish. And if this 1 minute inverses to the downside, I'll still look for shorts. Wish it would have given us a better entry. Even on the 30 and the 15 second. I mean, there's nothing really A+, unfortunately. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna dump. This looks like it's gonna dump. So you can see we're trading into this bullish 2 minute gap. What I really want to see is it close below everything. The 2 minute, close below the 1 minute fair value gap, close below the 3 minute fair value gap, which is right here and right here. And then ultimately this will be the draw and then lower. Yeah, the entry's on a 5 minute close. I just don't like this. I want the 2 minute to close as well. Guys, I think I'm going to wait on this. Unless this miraculously closes below in 2 minutes. So if the 2-minute and the 5-minute close below at the same time, I'm going to enter this short. But if not, I'm not going to. Because there's a chance this 2-minute acts as a bullish FEG. Okay, so I'm not entering this yet, guys, because you can see we traded into the 2. So if we're bullish here, we're going to use this to go higher. Yeah, you have to be super careful, guys, especially when we've already had a big move down. There can be a lot of manipulation. So I don't want to get smoked. I don't want to get smoked by this high. So I need to see the 2-minute close below too. Hopefully we don't go too far lower from this point. So there's a 1 minute. Let's see if we get this 2-minute close below. Yeah, and I don't want to see this low get swept either. This is such a tough spot to be in. Okay, guys, I'm entering this with 1, and my stop to break even is going to unfortunately have to be right when this sweeps. My TP is going to be down here. And the stop loss, I mean, this is a tough one, guys, because technically we're entering on the 5-minute, right? So your stop would have to be back above here. But if you really want to be risk averse, I would honestly stop the trade out if we get a 2-minute close back above this fair value gap. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is not something that I love right now. I don't love this trade, but I'm going to enter it with 1. Stop should definitely be to break even, in my opinion, if this low gets swept. But I don't love this trade. I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to move my stop super quick if this low ends up getting hit. But I don't like that we have all these down close candles without any kind of like consolidation first. So guys, in my opinion, I think just to kind of keep my risk tight, guys, because of how low we're entering on this trade, I'm going to close this if we get a 2-minute close back above this. Hopefully we don't get the close, but I'm not a huge fan of this. Okay, so no close yet. Again, if this low gets swept, guys, I'm moving my stop to break even. If you guys are super risk averse, once this low gets swept, I'd move your stop to break even too. I wouldn't even. I'm not hesitating to move my stop loss here, guys, because we're so low. I don't like that we didn't have. it's too big of a drop too quick, in my opinion. So if we're wrong here, this is going to smoke us. So I have to be super careful. But on my confidence scale of trades that I take, guys, this is not a high level of confidence. I will tell you guys right now. But because of how bearish I think we could potentially be, I'm willing to risk it, but you have to be super careful. Again, I do like that we got to close below the 5-minute and the 2-minute. I just hope that it sweeps this low and just completely collapses. That's what I'm hoping. The 3-minute has... Oh, guys, the 3-minute is holding right now. How did I not see this? So far this 3-minute bullish fair value gap is holding. You can see the bodies are holding perfectly. Yeah, I think this might get stopped out, guys, unfortunately. But let's see. Candle closes in 2 minutes, so we need to see how this 3-minute candle ends up closing. Hopefully the 3 closes below. We've got a few seconds till we find out. $30 seconds till the candle close, guys. Unfortunately, I missed this, but let's see what we get. Come on, let's close below. 10 seconds. Come on, close below. Okay, guys, so this should be a reversal spot. This should come down at least to this low. And as soon as this low hits, guys, I'm moving my stop to break even. And if I get stopped out, so be it. But I think this should go down here. We reverse the 5, we inverse the 2, we inverse the 1, we inverse the 3. There's no reason that we shouldn't at minimum hit this low, in my opinion. They could do some kind of manipulation, guys, where they come up and try and stop people out above this high. Thinking that's possible, but we'll see. If you guys are really risk averse, again, when this low gets swept, if it does, move your stop to break even. Okay, guys, I'm moving my stop here because I just want the market to dump. If it's gonna dump, it's got to do it now, right? I don't want to risk getting smoked here. So we're up 160, 180, 215, 200. Again, this low, definitely move your stop to break even if you haven't yet. If I get stopped out on this, I don't care. Because we're in super, like, I don't like this huge down move with, it's too big of a move too quick. So I have to be super careful about getting stopped out. So what they'll probably do here, guys, they miss the low by a tick. They bring the market up, stop people out, then maybe dump it. I don't know. But this is a free trade now, up 300, 315, beautiful. I'm holding this all the way down to this hourly sell side. If you guys want to take profits down here, you're welcome to. But I think this is going to go lower if it's going to do it. Up 600, let's go. So guys, this is a free trade. I'm moving my stops. I mean, on my eval and my fundeds, my stops are at break even. So Again, this is a free trade. This can be a potential $2,000 day. If you guys want, if I had 2 contracts, I would book half here. But this is a free trade for me, so. The 1 minute still has not inverse, so. Again, guys, if I get stopped out for break even, I'm fine with that. Did the 1 minute close below here? The 1 minute did close below by a tick, which I like. But they could easily come back, stop me out, and then drop it. And if they do, that's fine with me. Okay, guys? If you want to take profits here, you're welcome to. Because this could easily get stopped out. But we'll see. How am I not stopped out yet? All right, there's the stop out on the trade, guys. So I don't know what's going to happen from this point, but I'm not trying to get smoked on a move up here. So we'll have to see what we get. If this 5 minute inverses to the upside, guys, I might take a long. Target this high as a stop to break even. This looks really good. But we'll see. Okay, booked 50 bucks. Good job. So who took that trade, or was everybody too scared to take it? Who took that? Kay took it. Chulo did not take it. Charlie took it. Yeah, guys, I mean, listen, it's part of the game. Getting stopped at break even is part of the game. Evan Lucas, negative 300. How did you get negative 300, Lucas? How did you guys get negative money on that trade? Because of wrong stop loss. Or he chased the entry short. Excuse me. Yo, what's up, Robert? I was trading stocks on my other screen and didn't have a hard stop loss set. Oh. Yeah, I mean, you probably don't care about it, right, Evan? Because it's paper trading. Bless you. Thank you, sir. Oh, it still looks really good to the downside. I can't take this, guys. I can't enter on the same leg of price, especially after liquidity got swept. But if this 1 minute inverses, I'm going to guess this goes down here. But what I'd love to see, guys, if this 5 minute inverses to the upside, I think that'll be a good long. Yeah, it looks good to me. Well, there's a 2 minute inverse right here. Yeah, Benosh, I tend to agree with you there. I'm just trying to see where my targets will be to the short side. Tough day though, for sure. All right, Pepe it up. So far this week, guys, it's probably one of my smaller week. Whoa, Lulu, shh. This week is probably one of my smallest weeks in a while. I think it's the smallest profitable week in the last month, I would say. I haven't taken that many trades, and I did get stopped at break even on most of my positions, but for half. So like the other day, yesterday I took a $400 partial, got stopped at break even. Today I did not take a partial and I got stopped at break even, but I have not had any losses, so that's good. But yeah. And that's on my cash and funded, guys. I did take a small loss on my eval today. Right, you guys saw that? But if you look at the stats, we're still on a pretty nice trajectory. Trade winning on the eval so far is not great. It's actually at 52%, but I take a little bit more risky trades on the eval than I do on my cash. The market's waiting for a Trump tweet. Yeah, could be, bro. Could be. Tristan, that was a big issue of mine for a while. What, moving your stop too quick or something? So what I think is going to happen here, guys, and again, obviously I can be wrong. I'm not perfect. If this 5-minute inverses, my guess is they're going to take the market pretty close to this high and they're not going to sweep it, and then they're going to reverse the market. That's my guess right now. No, just straight up having too tight of a stop. Yeah, I mean, if you're nervous and you don't have a model, that can happen, but you also, I mean, for most people, it's just lack of confidence, I think. Is price going to slow because of all of today's red folder news? No. Also, there's not that much red folder news today, guys. There was one set at 8:30. Tomorrow we have PMI, but this looks like it's ready to dump, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, tomorrow's news. I thought it was like 5 or 6 red folders. Tomorrow we have PMI at 9:45, and I think that's it. I don't think there's any extra red folder. But no, I don't judge what red folder news is coming the day before unless it's like CPI or an FOMC meeting. Then I don't really judge the previous day's price action. But you see, guys, though days like today are not that eventful for me, like I had one trade and it was a break-even day. The goal of trading, and for those of you guys who are kind of like new to this, the goal of trading is not to make money. The goal of trading is to preserve your capital, okay? I would much rather have a boring day where I get stopped at break-even than try and chase price, not follow my rules, and have a big losing day. So, if there's one thing I can try and explain to you guys, it's that. If this 5-minute inverses though to the upside, I don't think this is a bad long. I really don't. But we have to see. I don't want to, like, if it closes right at the top of the new week opening gap, this could reverse. Let's see. Okay, so they closed it right above the 5-minute. If you guys want to take this, you can. I am personally bearish today, and I don't know if this is going to work, so I am not going to take this. You guys can do whatever you want. I would be super careful because we have this new week opening gap here. On the 3-minute or the 2-minute, we have a tiny fair value gap right here that we could reject from. So I would be super careful here. I would be super careful of longs. Technically, guys, this is A+, okay? It looks, visually it looks A+, okay? But because I use new week opening gaps and because my bias is bearish, I'm not going to take it. Okay? I'm not going to take it. I think this is going to be a bad move and it's going to end up coming back down. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Do I want to be wrong? Yes, for people that are in this 5-minute, but for me personally, it doesn't look A+ enough for me to take. But we are delivering from a daily fair value gap. We did sweep a lot of liquidity. So in theory, it is A+. But there is this new week opening gap here. And personally, I know on days like today, this can end up failing. So I'm not going to take it. We just swept this high right here by a tick. And we're kind of stalling. So again, guys, I wish I could take this. And most days I would. And if there's no new week opening gap, I would take this. But not today. If you guys are in this, I would have my stop to break even here. Just because of the nature of today. And I know it's kind of confusing, guys, and this comes from screen time, but for me, I've seen this type of day fail a lot of times, so I prefer not to take this 5-minute. But your ultimate, I would take a partial here if you are in this and it ends up working. And then I would take a partial up here. But I think it might fail. We'll see. Let's see what happens, guys. How many people are in this 5-minute IFEG right now? Again, I can't really explain why I don't like this one, but I just don't. I wish I had a better explanation for you guys. Again, the new week opening gap is part of it. Screen time is part of it. Bearish bias is part of it. There's a lot of reasons why I don't like this, but I think this could potentially be an intraday high that they leave, but we'll see. I'm still looking for shorts, guys. So if this ends up sweeping this high and this high, I will still look for a short. But I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. And again, I only have one trade today, and it's a break-even trade, so really, yeah, look at this failure. A lot of people who are in this 5-minute right now, I think they're not sweating yet, because technically we're trading into the bullish section of the IFEG, but I think if this ends up failing, it's going to fail hard. Like, this could really be the start to a huge sell day, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Again, this is just a feeling right now. But a lot of people are going to hold this IFEG. They're going to try and hold this. And what could happen here, guys, is that it's not going to close below the IFEG, right? It's going to hold the 5-minute inverse. And then the next 5-minute candle is going to collapse. That's what I think is going to happen here. Or this 5-minute candle, I don't know. But let's see if I'm right or wrong. You guys can see here we're rejecting the new week opening gap. So this 5-minute inverse closed above, but not a lot of people have new week opening gaps drawn on their charts. And look what's going to happen here. In my opinion, I think this is going to dump. Again, does that mean I'm entering a position? No. But I will enter a short, guys. If this 5-minute inverses to the downside, I don't think that's half bad. It's a new leg of price too, because we did sweep this high. So, but if it ends up just collapsing, right, and the 5-minute doesn't, if it closes right here, I'll take it. But if it closes down here, I'm not taking it. I wish we got a better entry, but it is what it is. Got 3 minutes. So what I think what will possibly happen here is they hold the 5-minute fair value gap, and then the next 5-minute candle will have huge move into the downside if it's going to dump here. That's my sneaking suspicion. And then I think ultimately this hourly low is coming. Oh, the 5-minute IFEGers are sweating here. Let's see. I'm going to take this short, guys, with 1NQ if we get it. If it ends up closing right here, what they're probably going to do, guys, is hold it, and then the next 5-minute candle is going to dump it, but we'll see here. I am going to try this short if we get it. This will be my one trade of the day. Risk is somewhat high. I mean the risk to reward is probably going to be pretty good if we end up closing right here. And my TP will be all the way down at hourly. But I'm guessing they're going to hold it, and then they're going to dump it. So we'll see. I hope they close it below, though. There is a 1-minute K, but in this case, I really like this to the downside. So they did not close it below, so I can't even get an entry anyways. But my guess, guys, is that they're just going to completely dump this now. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. So they're not giving... They're basically... Everyone that inversed this 5 minute... This is my theory. They're not closing it below so that nobody exits the trade. And then they end up dumping it and not giving anyone a short entry. Let's see if they hold the 5 minute. They're kind of stalling it, but I still think that we're probably going to reject this new week opening gap and go lower. Again, if the 5 minute inverses, guys, I think I'm going to take this with 1 NQ, but it has to close close to the fair value gap. If it closes all the way down here, I'm not going to take it. There is a tiny 1 minute that Kay's pointing out here, so if you guys want to wait for that to inverse, you can. But I think because we've tested it once, it's probably just going to reject if it does. A lot of dudes are sweating who are in this 5 minute INFG, I'm telling you right now. We got 2 minutes till the candle close on the 5, so let's see what happens here. Like Binoche said, maybe there's a Trump candle that comes. That's the only thing I can think is going to happen now. Should we chant Trump, 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 Trump? See if we can get the Trump candle. Yeah, I mean, listen, we've had a big downside move already, so there's going to be consolidation before another move down. And they're going to try and stop out short traders, or long traders. Sorry, they're going to try and stop out people who are short by inducing longs. But I still think this is going down. Hopefully this 5-minute candle ends up being the dump. Come on, markets. Let's do our thing. So the macro time starts at 11:50, guys. So I'm definitely going to stay on until here. But I think a move is coming. And if this 5-minute inverse is to the downside and it closes somewhere here, I'm taking the short. I don't think so, Binoche. I think it's going to happen around lunchtime. If not before. I think this is getting prepared for a big move. So again, guys, if the 5-minute closes below here, close to the IFVG, this is going to be my short entry. Personally, with 1 NQ, and I'm going to target the hourly low. You can move your stop to break even at this low or this low, and then you can take a partial here if you want. Up to you what you guys do, but this is going to be my one trade for the day. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But I think this is a pretty good IFVG to the downside. We swept liquidity. We're bearish. I think this is going to end up being a big down move. Okay, so there's the top of the new week opening gap. Maybe this ends up being the spot. I don't know. But until this 5-minute inverses, guys, I'm not entering anything. How is the tilt on Top Step? 73% people long, 27% people short right now. Come on, market. Let's do something. really want to see this collapse. I really do. Oh boy, is this it? I'm telling you guys, when this move happens, it's gonna happen fast. I don't know if we're gonna get an entry, but I'm telling you. Another rejection from the new week opening gap. If we get the 5-minute close, guys, this will be my one trade of the day, and that's it. 73% of people were long a second ago. 27% were short. Super interesting that correlates with what I think is going to happen in the markets. I like to see that 27% of people were short, or were long, or were short, and 73% were long. I think this might be it, guys. I think this is where the dump happens, if it's going to happen today. Come on, Market, just move. Okay, let's see. Wow, guys, this is going so slow. But again, this is what happens when we have a big distribution like down, right? We tend to consolidate, but I think this is still going to take us lower. I really do. Again, my confirmation on this trade, if we inverse this 5-minute to the upside, right here, this is my confirmation for the trade. Until we get that, guys, I'm not entering, but my stop loss will be a 5-minute close back above, and I will look for the continuation to the downside. Is there an SMT with ES? Both are making lower highs, right? Yeah, so there's no SMT, but I think this could potentially be it right here. There is technically a 1 minute IFEG, but no liquidity sweep, so I want to wait for the 5. We still gotta wait till the macro time, so maybe it waits until the macro time to go. I don't know, but hopefully we get an entry here. Five-minute close. We have 4 minutes left until this. So my guess, guys, is they're just going to deliver this down here. I don't know if we're even going to get an entry, but we'll see. ESK. You can see it up here. ESH 2025. Guys, I think they're just going to dump this here. I don't think we're going to get an entry for the short, unfortunately, but you guys can see we have this 1 minute fair value gap that Kay was pointing out. But I need to wait for a 5-minute close. So there's the 1 minute close, but again, guys, I need to wait for a 5 as well, so I cannot enter this yet. We've got 2 minutes left. Yes, I'm looking for both the 1 and the 5 minute. The 1 has already closed below, so I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. The 5 minute is what I'm looking for, and right now it has not closed below yet. They are really making this tough. Everybody who is in the 5 minute IFEG long is still holding this, and they're praying that this holds above. Oh my goodness. Markets, please. Just give us the close. Still holding the 5 minute IFEG to the upside. Long entry people are happy now. They're happy now. Let's see if they're happy in a few minutes. See guys why it's important to wait for the 5-minute close? If you would have taken this 1 minute short, Kay asked me about this earlier. If you would have taken this 1 minute short, great, that's fine, but you have to wait for both to close. Otherwise, you don't know what's going to happen here. We could do this and we wick and go back up. So I still think ultimately the draw is lower, but we need to see a 5-minute close. Otherwise, there's no entry. Does that make sense, everybody? Especially when we're in discount, right? We've already had a big dump. I'm not just going to blindly short. Even though I think this is bearish, I want to wait for both a 5 and a 1 minute close. I hope that makes sense to you guys that are viewing this. Good, Robert. The 5-minute IFEGers are still praying. Still praying. Come on, please, market. Let's go. I have stuff to do today. Everyone here has stuff to do. Let's make a move. God. Imagine if you're in this 5-minute long right now. How long this is taking. You're praying that it doesn't close above, then that it doesn't close below, and then it wicks. Like, this is the most emotionally draining 5-minute IFEG to be in right now, to the upside. I still think ultimately that this ends up closing down. I still do. But again, am I entering anything yet? Hell no. I want to see this close below. That's my signal. Robert, whenever it moves, it's going to be huge. Grabbing all these stops is just accumulating gas to push either way. Yeah. And I think it's going to be to the downside. You can see we're generating, like there is this trend line liquidity here, but I think this is going to end up being left for another day. I think they're going to dump this. That is my hypothesis right now. Are these perfect equal highs right here? Nope. Missed them by a tick. But we'll see, guys. We will see. But obviously you can see, guys, if you entered on this IFEG to the upside, we closed above it. Then, did we close below it? No, we did not. Sorry. We held it, then we closed above it again. Then we rejected, then we're closing above it again and rejecting. I think this is ultimately going to dump. It's low volume right now, guys, because we had a big move already in the AM session, and now we're consolidating for the next move. That's what's happening right now. And I think we have another down move leg left today. It's just a matter of when it happens. I think it's going to happen now. Again, guys, I'm going to enter a short if this 5-minute closes below. Here. If it closes down here, I'm not entering it. If by any chance possible doesn't make this crazy move during today's session, would you personally hop into Asia or London? Probably not, Robert. I prefer to trade the New York session. I normally only look for London and Asia sessions if there's a long setup, not a short setup. Bro, I know so many IFEG traders that are taking this 5-minute setup. And the fact that we keep closing above it and then failing, to me, shows market weakness. But again, until it closes below, guys, there's no entry for the short. And again, I'm not looking at the 5-minute IFEG to the upside. I'm looking at this 5-minute IFEG for the short setup. And again, we have 20 seconds left. Let's see if we get an entry. Come on, market, please. Close below it. No. Oh my god. Okay, so now I think it's probably still gonna dump. Again, could I be wrong? Yes, but they're probably trying to make sure that IFEG traders or whatever, or however the algorithm works, make sure that people don't exit their positions and then they dump it. 16 to 20k views? I didn't know that. That's awesome, Kay. I saw one got like 14 point something. I didn't know I got a 16k view on. That's crazy. Bruh. Can this market just decide what it's gonna do? Please. Just make a move to one side or the other. Hey, Oaf, do you see that volume imbalance with the almost equal lows with the imbalance and that wick down? I think it might have to blast through that order block there, then just crash out. Volume imbalance. There's a tiny one right here. Is that what you're talking about? We can see that we touched into it once here, but guys, I think this 5-minute IFEG is gonna fail. There's too many times where it's trying to go up and it doesn't, inducing traders long. I think this is gonna dump. It's just taking forever to do it. And I hope they give me an entry for this short model. But I don't know if they will. Yeah, I mean, this volume imbalance is important, but it's not. I don't really take these like 5-minute time frame volume imbalances that seriously. But yeah, if we blast through it to the downside, then hopefully that'll end up being the dump. I don't know. Oh my god, bro. I've been sitting on my hands and learning, and I'm so glad to be able to just see some of the things you teach, like imbalances and resistance. Yeah, Robert, it seems like you're learning a lot, bro, because you're using a lot of good terminology, like volume imbalances, inverse for value gaps, liquidity. So guys, there is a ton of low resistance liquidity here, so that is making me a little bit nervous, I'm not going to lie, but I'm trusting that this new week opening gap is going to act as resistance and that this 5-minute IFEG is going to fail to the upside and that they're trying to generate liquidity to the long side before dumping the markets. That's what I think is happening here. Again, not normally I don't think that when there's LRLR and an internal high, but here today I do think that is probably the case. And are they going to give me an entry on this? I'm going to guess not. I think they're probably going to close it right around here and they're just going to dump it. But if I get the entry on the 5-minute, I'm going to take it short, 1 NQ. Rarely do I take shorts, guys, when there's LRLR above, but in this situation, I do like it. Another 5-minute close. They're still, I don't know if they're accumulating longs to rip the market higher. I don't even know, guys, but I think this is going to be a short. I'm just patiently waiting for my setup. If I don't get it, I don't get it. How's the hourly looking? So no pin bar yet on the hourly. How's the 4-hour doing? Yeah. Okay, hopefully this is it. Again, you see how they're holding the market? And so the next 5-minute candle that I wait for, I bet you the market's going to be all the way down here at that point. So we will see. Everybody who's in this 5-minute long, I'm telling you, they're sweating here. Ugh, but can it just do it? I just needed to just go. I need it to go. I hope that it closes. I guarantee you guys, one of two things is happening here. It's going to close right at the bottom of the 5-minute and then completely collapse. Or it's going to fake the 5-minute close and it's going to go up. One of those two things is happening here. So I don't think I'm even going to get a proper entry, but we'll see. Oh, and we're in the macro time finally, so hopefully a move happens here. That 1 minute for value gap, I'm guessing, is going to reject us. Who's ready for the Trump news? Oh. 5-minute IFUG logs are sweating. Let's see. So we got 2 minutes left until the close on this candle. So again, my guess, guys, is they close it at the bottom of the fair value gap and then they just completely dump it. Or they just completely dump it now. I don't know. But I am not bullish here. And this will be my one trade. If it loses, guys, I am happy with this risk reward. It's a 3.61. And yeah. So I will only take it if we get the 5-minute close. All right, 1 minute left. Let's see. Let's see what happens. 1 minute left on this 5-minute IFBG. I'm telling you guys, I smell a dump. I smell a big boy dump. But again, I predict that they hold the fair value gap, and then the next 5-minute candle is what collapses us. Who wants to see if I'm right? And of course, they hold the 5-minute fair value gap, and watch this 5-minute candle. I'm gonna guess with a high degree of certainty. This is a big, strong red candle. Let's see if I'm right. Again, can I enter anything here? No, guys. There's no entry for the trade. And yeah, but I think this is going to be a strong red candle, if I had to guess. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. I don't know, guys, but again, I think this is going to reject from this new week opening gap. There's no entry here, but I still think this is going to end up collapsing. Oh my god, but they're making this so annoying. Ugh. Bro, what is this price action? Imagine being part of this, guys. Imagine if you were in a position here. Oh my god, it'd be terrible. Look at this. Who wants to be part of this, guys? And the second this started happening, closing above, closing back into it, closing above, closing back into it, closing above, closing back into it, this is a signal that price action is going to be bad. Oh my goodness. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe the 5-minute is going to hold. But I don't know. I still think this is probably liquidity generation for dumping. But no, there's no way. I'm telling you guys, I think this is liquidity that they're generating to go down. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Is there a setup where I'm losing money? No. Do you guys see how it's okay to speculate, but it's not okay to click buttons? You guys have seen me click the button one time today, even with all the frustration, even with all the annoyance. I click the button, it was a break-even trade, and I don't click the button until something A+ presents itself. And right now, there is nothing, in my opinion. Wow. For those 5-minute IFEG holders, they're still holding. And I think that this is probably where the market's going to dump. Like, I know I keep saying it, but I'm telling you guys, this looks like it's getting ready to dump. So for those people that are in the 5-minute IFEG long right now, I mean, your stop to break even should go here. And then hopefully you end up booking profits to up here. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if we get this sweep and then we get an IFEG, I'm taking it short. So there's both internal buy sides that got hit there. My goodness. My goodness, my goodness. I'm not seeing the double stacked green candles. What does that mean, Robert? Wow, so one of my Discord members, Fear, he just sent me a link. There's a like this scammer in my Discord that keeps scamming people. If you guys are in the Discord, guys, please don't click on any links from people, even if they look like your friends in the Discord. They're most likely an impersonator. Unless you're friends with them and you know that it's the real account, don't interact with people. They're sending all these fake links and stuff, so be careful. Trading with unregulated brokers and trying to scam you out of $1,000. So be super careful. Oh lol, I called that. The two green closing candles on current and previous price. Right, Tristan? I think, bro, it's hard to fall for scams. I mean, in my opinion, I've never fallen for one. I think they're pretty easy to spot, but there's a lot of people that do. Chuckster, now will it reverse and go the other way? We don't know yet, Chuckster. Really, what's going to be important here is seeing how we behave at these two highs and this high right here. If this 5-minute inverse is to the downside, guys, I do still like shorts. I'll take this. Or if we come up here and we get a really nice 1-minute IFEG, I'll consider that as well. But ultimately, I still think the draw is bearish. I just think they're trying to stop out short traders. And we'll see when we get the setup. I will take this 5-minute IFEG if we get it. It's a great risk reward. We're looking at a almost 5-to-1 RR, risking $1 to make 5, which I am perfectly fine with. This will be my one trade of the day, and that's it. I'll be done. Robert, yeah, I'm delayed 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, Robert, you... If you guys trade on TradingView, you do need to get real data. Otherwise, you're not gonna... it's just going to... it's going to give you data that's like 10 minutes late or something like that, like Robert is saying. So guys, this is my trade for the day. I know that it's, again, it sucks to be patient sometimes, but I don't click buttons until I see something that I can't refute, or I can't deny taking, or can't refuse taking, whatever you want to say it. 0%, you can, I mean, yeah, you can, Tristan, because if you have real market data and you trade on the delayed one, then you'll win every time because you know where the market's gonna go. But this is not delayed, guys. You can see this is real data right now. Chicago UTC 6. And of course, if you're in the Discord, when I do live stream in the Discord, it's completely, there's no delay whatsoever. So I know this is probably like a minute delay for some of you, or 20 seconds or something. But if you join the Discord, by the way, I'll actually post a link for those of you guys who want to. There's a 3-day trial going on right now. Again, you don't need Discords, but if you want to join, you're welcome to. I like Discord because, unlike YouTube, there's zero delay. And guys, I know we haven't gotten a setup yet, but if you guys are liking the stream, if you appreciate my commentary, go ahead and give it a like. It really helps the algorithm. If you don't like it, you can dislike it. That is up to you. Okay, let's look at the rest of the market right now while we're waiting for this. Bitcoin is at 97.7. Interesting. Okay. Biggest mover, Shake Shack to the upside. Biggest loser on my my watch list is Palantir. Okay. Okay, I like the fact that we're not displacing above this high. We're immediately rejecting. That's a good sign to me so far. But again, I need to see the 5-minute close below to take this short. I'm going to take this new week opening gap off the chart so you guys can see what I'm looking at. This is what I'm trying to get a trade on. This 5-minute IFEG. Let's see what ES is doing on the 5. Just pretty much behaving the same way as NQ. I'm praying to the market maker, the market makers, the gods, whatever you want to call them, that we get a setup. I'm praying. Really hope we do. Okay, so it looks decent so far, guys. If we get the close below here, this is where I'm looking to short. 5-minute IFEG to the downside. Who likes this trade? Who doesn't like the trade, and why? We touched into 50% of this down move. So we've already touched into premium. Technically, this is the best entry for the short, but I think that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here. This is the golden pocket. I don't know if you guys know about that, but for those of you who are in here who haven't taken a trade yet, or maybe have one break-even trade like me, I want to know, do you think this is a good short? Do you think it's a bad short? What do you guys rate it out of 10, if you had to guess? Don't all answer at once. It became invalidated when it closed above the IFEG, but I cannot see what you see. Can you explain what you see? This isn't a fair value gap right now. If we're bullish, this should be used to go higher, right? But because my bias is bearish and I think we're going to trade into this new week opening gap and the 50% of the weekly candle, I want to see this market collapse. So when this 5-minute bullish fair value gap gets closed below, that is my signal that the market will continue down. And so I have a very good risk reward, almost a 5 to 1 RR trade. But the only way I can take this is if the 5-minute candle closes below the fair value gap. Yeah. Technically right now, guys, we are holding this 5-minute, and it is very bullish, okay? We're holding this, and we're going up. So I think this high is probably coming. But if we end up closing back below this 5-minute inverse, I mean, this one right here that just formed, then that's my signal to go short. But if I had to guess right now, gun to my head, this high is coming. Because we inversed a 5-minute to the upside, and we're holding it and going up. But I am not interested in taking it. I am bearish personally, and that's that. Tristan thinks this is bullish. I think, gun to my head, I agree with him that we're going to this high most likely now. But I'm not in this. But I will say that this 5-minute fair value gap, this inverse that formed, this was probably the most stressful 5-minute IFVG I've seen in a long time. Closing right at it, not closing below, then wicking, not closing below, then doing this, then pulling up, finally. And if you're in this, guys, your stop would be to break even at either of these highs. Personally, I would have done it on this candle right here when this high got swept, but we'll see what happens here. But if we can end up trading up to here, guys, I will look for an A+ short. I think there'll be something great in premium of the range. But we'll see. Ultimately, this 5-minute fair value gap is the last bullish PD array holding up price. So once we close below this, I think it's going to dump. But if we can get a better entry up here with a better risk to reward, I'm all for it. So we will see what happens. This is trading, guys. I hate to break it to you, but most of the time it's not pretty. Most of the time it's sitting on your hands and waiting for something, so in a week like this where it's been relatively bullish the whole week, does TJF retrace upwards instead of down? Okay, guys, so the TJF setup, you're looking for a bearish move when the market is bullish. So this week, this weekly candle right here, the 30% retracement, because we didn't retrace on Friday, I redraw it. Okay, so let me delete this quick. Confirm. Yeah, let's remove it. Let's remove this for now. I'm gonna remove this down arrow. Okay, so the TGIF setup, again, when this is a weekly chart, right? So the weekly candle is bullish. Let me draw the TGIF here. Okay, so you draw from low to high, and then you're looking for the weekly candle on the next week to retrace down to the 30%. So on a bullish week, you're looking for bearish retracement. On a bearish week, like vice versa here, you were looking for a bullish retracement. So I was looking for the 20 to 30% on the next candle, and you can see the next week it actually ended up retracing all the way up and past it. So bullish candles, you look for bearish setups. Bearish candles, you look for bullish setups for the TGIF. Yeah. And one more thing actually I want to do here. I want to label the 50%. But leave all these out of it. Alright. So again, guys, we're just patiently waiting. Nothing has presented itself to me yet. Ooh, this liquidity just got swept to the upside. Ooh, guys, I think I'm going to try this. If we end up closing down here, I think I'm going to try this with one NQ. This will be a really good risk reward. Oh. Alright, guys, I'm in this. I don't even care. My TP is going to be all the way down here. Oh no, is this going to wick? Please close below. Alright, that's a close below. Stop loss is going to be a 1 minute close back above here. This is my one trade and I'm done, guys. I'm moving my stop a little bit higher here in case it wicks, but if we get a close back above the fair value gap, I'm out of the trade and I'm done for the day. I got a really bad entry on this, obviously because of the wick, but stop to break even when this low hits, and I'm targeting all the way down here. And again, I'm going to close this trade out if we get a 1 minute close back above. So we'll see here. This is my one trade, guys, and I'm done. If this closes above, I'm out. I'm moving my stop to this wick high right here. Alright, I'm pretty much out of this, guys. Let's see if I get stopped out. See how we closed below the IFEG? Did we close below it? Yeah, we did. Yeah, this is dumb, guys. I don't want to be part of this. If this ends up closing back above again here, I'm out of this trade. But I like this for shorts. The risk reward is really good. We swept liquidity. IFEG on the 1 minute. I think at minimum this low is probably going to get swept now, so my stop to break even will be probably here if we get it. Okay, I'm moving my stops on my funded accounts. So this is my stop right here. I'm not letting it go past there, and this is my one trade on the day. Again, I hate the fact that we just closed below and back above, so I think I'm going to get stopped out on this, but maybe I'll get lucky. So if this ends up losing, guys, it's going to be a break even and a small loss on the day. And again, my entry was really bad because I chased price. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. So I'm accepting that fact, and I'm letting myself go with a small loss on the day. So I'm putting my stop right above this 1 minute volume imbalance. Just in case it wants to use this to reject. See the tiny woman at volume imbalance there? If I don't get stopped out of this trade, that's going to be wild. But we'll see. Again, guys, it's alright. So there it is. Stop out. One break even and one small loss on the day, and I am done. I'm not taking any more trades. The fact that we got this woman at inverse, it closed below and then closed back above, tells me I should be done. Okay, I hope that's a lesson to you guys. I'm not going to go on tilt. I'm not going to get upset because I lost a trade. That is the nature of trading. You're not going to be a winner every single time. 99% of traders, again, cannot lose and leave the charts or not click a button again. If you lost today and you decide not to click another button, that in itself is a bigger win than any win that you will experience, in my opinion. If you have the discipline to not click the button again now, sign out of your accounts, don't click a button, that is in itself is a greater win than anything else you will experience. So I will stay on just to read price and see what happens here. But to me, this looked really good. And you can see that we closed above it, or closed below it, then closed right back above it. That is a signal that price action is really behaving terribly. And I'm not trying to be part of that. Okay, the risk to reward here looked fantastic to me. I was bearish on the day. And yeah. So if I end up getting, now if this ends up going without me, I'm not going to cry, right? It came back above the volume imbalance, and now it's closing back below it. If this ends up dumping us, so be it. But if you took that trade, guys, and you lost, and you are willing to now step aside and not take another trade, I congratulate you, because that is a commendable thing. So if I'm right here, it doesn't matter. Okay, GG Ove. GG to you guys too. And it's actually, to me, honestly, it's kind of a relief. Because I was sitting here waiting for a trade. Something presented itself. I took it, I executed, and I'm done. So if this ends up dumping here, guys, I'm sorry. Maybe I could have put my stop at the high, but again, what can I do? It's all about managing risk. Let's see if this ends up collapsing here. Again, does that mean I'm clicking another button? Hell no. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to get off the charts now. If this high gets swept and you have not taken a trade yet, I think there will probably be a good short from here. But we'll see. So with that being said, guys, I will catch you guys in the Discord for those of you guys who are in it. And keep an eye out for the live alert section. Because if there is something A+, I will call it. Because I still think there is potential for downside today. And so if we get it, I will let you know. Alright, guys. I appreciate you guys being on the stream. And as always, we live to trade another day. $250-something loss. I'm not going to cry about it. Okay. Wins end up being a much bigger than that. So by all means, it's not the end of the world. Alright, guys. I wish you the best. And I'll see you soon. See you in the Discord.